Students, we are about to continue recursion again. This is the second part of recursion, and here we are going to see a program in which we have to check if a number is prime number or not recursively. So here int is prime, which is a function which is receiving two parameters here, int n and int I. I will be 1. Like as you people know the loop for prime number, while I less than equal to n, and then if n modulus I is equal to 0, then we use a counter. Same concept we are using with recursion. If I is greater than n is our base case or the terminating case. If I becomes greater than n, then we'll return 0. This means now the function will stop. Otherwise it will come to the else part. So let's take an example. If suppose user has given us 5. If 5 modulus 1 is equal to 0 is a true condition, we are using here ternary operator in which 1 is a counter which is being kept in the memory. Right? So 1 counter has been kept in the memory, and then with plus sign we are calling the function recursively by sending n. I plus 1 becomes 2. 2 will be received here again inside the function. And then 2 is greater than 5 is a false condition. It will again come to the else part, where 5 modulus 2 is 0. No. So it will come to the colon part. Colon means else part, and call the is prime function and send 5 and 2. 5 and 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 is greater than n. No. Again it will come here 5 modulus 3 is 0. No. So it will always go to the else part and call is prime and send n. That means 5 and 4. 4 is greater than 5 is false. It will come to the else part. 5 modulus 4 is 0. No. It will come to the else part again and call is prime and send 5 and 4. So again it will enter 4 is greater, and send 5. So 5 greater than 5 is a false condition. 5 modulus 5 here is true. So after question mark, 1 which was already there in the memory, to which this new one will be added and it becomes 2. Then it will call is prime with 5 and I plus 1 6. Now 6 is greater than 5 and it will return 0 here itself, where in the memory 2 is waiting. So 2 plus 0 is 2. When we are using in main, we are trying to call it, we have taken n from the user. We are keeping a variable on the left hand side and calling is prime and sending n and I. For I we are sending 1 over here. And if we are getting here 2 as a number, we are going to print prime number. We can also write else, in which we can write else it is not a prime number. Now let's see a recursive function on sum of digits of a number recursively. Now let's look at this sum of digits of a number recursively. In this we are entering a number in main, and then we are calling ob.sum n. This n will be received in this recursive function sum int n. Here we are going to check. I'll remove the system dot out. Here we are going to check if n is 0. That means if n is 0, we are going to return 0. But presently, suppose if my number given is 345, it is not 0. It will come to the else part, and 345 mod 10. What is mod? Mod is going to find out the remainder. So 10 34s are 345 is a remainder which will be kept in the memory separately. Like suppose this is 5 plus kept in the memory. Then sum will call itself recursively and send the quotient 34 over here. 34 will move inside if 34 is equal to 0. No. Again it will come to the recursive part. 34 mod 10 means 10 3s are 30. 4 is the remainder which will be added to the stack memory with 5 and become 9 in the memory. And then sum is going to call itself with the quotient 3. 3 is equal to 0. No, it will come to this else part. 3 mod 10. If you divide 3 by 10, it doesn't come in the table of 10. So 3 is a remainder itself, which will again be kept with 9 in the memory, and you get an answer of 12. Since 3 was not being divided by 10, so there was no quotient. The quotient is 0, which will be received over here, and the base case this time will be true. 0 is equal to 0. This 0 will be returned here itself in the memory, and to 12 0 will be added. Finally the result 12 will return and it will be received in int a over here. So a will be printed. So this is a recursive function for sum of digits. Now let's look at another concept of LCM HCF. How to calculate the LCM and HCF. So let's look at the program of LCM using recursive function. First of all, let's look into main. We are using scanner. LCM OB is equal to new LCM. Why? Because our class name is LCM, so we are creating the object for it. Then we have got here three variables declared: answer, LA and SM. A and B we are inputting. We are taking input from the user in A and B. Then we are finding out which is the greatest. If A is greater than B, then largest number will be A and smallest number will be B. Otherwise, the opposite of it, largest number is B and smallest number is A. Then answer is a variable which is going to take the largest number into it. And then after that, with system.out.println, we are calling the function LCM with the help of the object OB, and we are sending three values: answer, the largest number and the smallest. So it will be received here in our function int answer, int LA and int SM. Let's take an example. If suppose the largest number found was 8 and the smallest number was 6, so naturally answer is going to take the largest number, so answer also is 8. We are checking here if 8 modulus 6 is equal to 0, but this is a false condition, so terminating case or base case is not executing. First of all, it will go to the else part and execute the recursive part. In this recursive part, we are calling LCM function again, but this time answer plus LA is going. Answer is 8, LA is also 8. That means 16 value is going to be received in this int answer. LA will be 8 as it is and SM will be 6 as it is. So all of them will be received here. This is 16, this is 8 and this is 6. 16 modulo 6 is equal to 0 is again a false condition, so it will come to the recursive case here. And again LCM is going to call itself recursively, and it this time answer was 16, 16 plus 8 will become 24. So the value of answer received here in the function will be 24. LA will be as it is 8 and SM will be as it is 6. Now 24 modulo 6 is 0. This is a true condition. The base case has turned out to be true. So we are returning the value 24 back to main. Now this answer which was returning will be received in this system.out.println and 24 will be printed on the screen. So let's look at the output. Here we are going to put some numbers like 8 and 6 and we are getting 24 as the answer. This is the output in the terminal window. Right. So I gave 8 and 6 and I got 24 as the answer. Recursively, if I again run this program and I give 5 and 7, I get 35 as the LCM, which you people can see over here. So this is the recursive function on LCM. Then what about HCF? For HCF, a slight change will be made in the program. Here we have to find out the largest and the smallest as it is, but we will not require answer is equal to LA. Suppose our function made will be ob.hcf. We need to send only the largest and the smallest, no answer. And our function over here is suppose HCF. It will also receive two parameters instead of int answer. It will receive only LA and SM. And here we are going to check if LA modulus SM is equal to 0. Then we'll be returning the smallest number as the answer. Return SM. Otherwise, in the return function, that is recursive case, we are going to call HCF, and here we are going to send SM as the largest number and the remainder of LA and SM as the smallest. So how it executes, let's see. In the main, there is no change except for a slight change that we are not using here int answer, so we need not declare int answer over here. We'll need only LA and SM. After taking the two numbers, we are going to find out the greatest and the smallest. And with system.out.println, we are calling HCF function by sending largest and smallest. So suppose if we take 8 and 6 only as an example, so this is 8 and this is 6. 8 modulo 6 is equal to 0, this base case is false. So it will go to the recursive case. In the recursive case, SM is what? It is 6. This 6 will be received here in LA as the biggest number, and 8 modulo 6 is going to give you a remainder 2, which will be received here and in SM as the smallest number. So now the parameters or the values received in these parameters is 6 and 2. 6 modulus 2 is equal to 0 is true condition, and the return value will be 2 as an HCF for 8 and 6. And it will be returned in system.out.println where 2 will be printed. Let's see the output. Suppose we are giving here two numbers, 8 and 6. We get 2 as an HCF. And if we give 5 and 7, naturally 1 should come as an HCF. Let's run it. If I give here 5 and 7, and I get 1 as an HCF. Now let's look at another recursive function for special number like 145. So 1 factorial, 4 factorial and 5 factorial, all of them when added will give you 145. But it's not possible in one function to calculate the special number. You will need two functions recursively, one for factorial, a recursive function, and the other for taking out the remainders from the number and sending it to the factorial function. How we are going to do it? Let's see. I'll save it as special.java. So our first function will be int fact, which will be receiving a number and calculating recursively the factorial. And as I told you in my previous video also, if n is 0, then we'll return 1 because the factorial for 0 is 1. Otherwise, it will keep on multiplying and keeping into the memory. Fact n minus 1. Those of you who haven't seen my first video on recursion, I'll give a link in the description box so that you can have a look at it, how I have explained factorial. After that, I need another function also, int special. If n is equal to 0, we'll return 0. Otherwise, we'll be running a recursive case. Return fact n mod 10. We'll have to find the factorial of each and every remainder which is being extracted, and then special will call itself by sending the quotient. I'll explain you now. And in main you need only, we'll keep our class name as a special, so special OB is equal to new special. We need only one number to be taken. Suppose we are taking only int a as a number. B we need not require to take an input. But we'll have to call special function with the help of some variable. ob dot special. We'll not call factorial from here. Factorial function has already been called within the special function. Whatever answer is received in B will be compared with A, the original value which we have taken here. If both of them match, we'll write here a message, it is a special number. Else system.out.println not. So now let's understand what this program is doing. First of all, let's move into the special function. Suppose that number was 145. 145 is equal to 0 is a false condition. It will come to the else part. First of all, it is extracting 145 modulus 10 will give you 5 as a remainder, which we are sending to the fact function in order to retrieve its factorial. Here 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 will be calculated as 120 and it will be returned here because fact function has been called here. So 120 will be placed in the memory. Then special function is going to call itself recursively and send 14 as a quotient. Now 14 is equal to 0 is false. So again 14 modulus 10 will give you a remainder 4, which will again be sent to the fact function, where 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, 24 will be returned here, where already in the memory we have got 120. 120 plus 24 will give you 144. Then the quotient 1 will be sent to the special function again. 1 is 0, no. 1 mod 10 will naturally give you 1 as a remainder, which will be sent again to the fact function, where the factorial of 1 will be only 1. Because 1 into, then you are sending 0. 0 again is returning you 1. The 1 into 1 is 1, which will be again returned here, where already we have got 144 plus 1 will give you 145. Now special function is going to call itself with a 0 value, because when 1 was being divided by 10, we did not get any quotient. The quotient received here is 0, and for this 0 will be returned here itself. So 145 plus 0 ultimately will return back to main, where B is going to receive this answer, this B. Now B is going to receive this answer, then B will be compared with A, and if both of them match, then it is a special number. This was a recursive program on special number. Now let's look in the last program of today's video, and that is palindrome number. Recursively we have to calculate. If suppose in 10 is 121, we have to calculate the reverse of it as 121 so that both of them match, the reverse and the original number, and then it is a palindrome. So here we are checking if n is 0, but this is a base case, it is not true presently. So what we are doing is palin n divided by 10, that means the quotient 12 is going to receive here. This is a different type of logic. The quotient 12 will be received here, and then n is equal to 0 is a false condition. Then again palin is going to call itself, and the quotient 1 is going to be received here. After that the quotient 0 is going to be received here. Now how does it come out to be as 121? Now after the remainder 0 has come, so 0 into 10 is how much? 0. And what was the remainder when 121 was being divided by 10? That is 1. So 0 plus 1 will become 1 in the memory. That means it will be like 0 into 10 plus 1, which will become 1. After that, in the next step, again it will go back, because whatever quotients it was calculating, like 121 was being placed, and after that 12, then 1 as a quotient. Now next time when we were sending 12 as a quotient over here, what was the remainder when 12 was being divided by 10? 2. And what was kept here in the memory? 1. So 1 into 10 will become how much? 10. 10 plus the remainder that we got here when 12 was being divided is 2. It will become 12 in the memory. After that, the last time when 1 was being divided by 10, the remainder was 1. And here in the memory, we have already 12. 12 into 10 will become how much? 120, plus the remainder 1 that we have got is 121. So 120 plus 1 will give you 121. And then this answer is going to be received here into B, and then B will be compared with A. Let me make it more clear. Initially, what this type of program sees what? First of all, you have to call this function recursively 3 times. First of all, 12. Then after that, 121 was already in the memory. Then 12 was being sent as a quotient, and then 1 was being sent as a quotient. So if we see that in the stack memory, we will be having some values like 121. Above it, we will be having like 12. Let me make it clear at the bottom of this window. 121, above it we had got 12, and above it 1, because stack memory places each and every quotient one above the other. Now when the base case was true that now n has become 0, it will return 0, where back into the recursive function where already we have got into 10. So 0 into 10 was 0, and after that I have written in my program n modulus 10. So what was the remainder when 121 was being divided by 10? The remainder was 1. So this remainder 1 will be added to this 0. So 0 plus 1 will give us 1. Now after this has executed, it will go to the next step, 12. So 12 modulus 10 was giving you how much? 2 as a remainder over here. But in the memory now presently we have got the value as 1. So 1 into 10, because I have already written into my program into 10. So 1 into 10 will give you 10, plus the remainder that you got on the second step was 2. So plus 2 is equal to 12. After that, the last step is 1. 1 modulus 10 is going to give you 1, and what was there in the memory? 12 was there in the memory. So 12 into 10 is going to give you 120, plus the remainder that you got now is 1. So 121. The way of executing for palindrome number is quite different, which you people have to understand that you have to write the program in this manner, not any other manner. So hope these programs are clear to you. Today's session was covering LCM HCF in recursive manner, special number having factorial and special functions recursively, palindrome, prime number, and sum of digits. And even in the previous video we had done Fibonacci, power of two numbers, and so on. So make these concepts very clear. We will come up with another video on outputs on recursive functions. If you have understood this concept, you can press the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.